Hello, season's greetings, and welcome to this week's Christmas broadcast from Tushington Hall in our charming village of Booby, Dingle. This week's exciting news is that last evening was opening night of this year's Booby Dingle Nativity play at the village hall, and as executive producer, one was delighted to have played a key role in the project, a retelling of the traditional nativity story for the modern age. Christmas with a Tish Tushington twist. It's been a huge undertaking, as one's had to fulfil several creative roles, namely casting director, and choreographer. One simply hasn't stopped. 3 weeks of rehearsals on Thursday evenings, one's quite exhausted. Though I say to myself, the casting was inspired. The Brigadier is playing Herod. My old chum Binky Farlington is playing the innkeeper's wife. P.C. Smithers is Joseph, and after much deliberation and stiff competition from some very aspiring leading ladies, one cast oneself in the role of Mary, the Virgin. And, not wanting to leave anyone out, one cast several villagers in various crowd scenes and supporting roles. Oh, it's such a pity you couldn't be here to see our little play. So, one will do one's best to provide you with edited highlights. So, think, if you will, of a cold winter's night in Bethlehem long, long ago, and a young couple coming to the end of a long and arduous journey. Mary, me, approaches a local hostelry as Joseph, her betrothed, rubs down her weary ass. And Mary's opening line is, "I say, do you have an ensuite family room for the night? Preferably south-facing. We've come an awfully long way and we're frightfully tired. Oh, and could we have the morning papers, please?" And then Binky, the innkeeper's wife, says, "Oh, that's dashed bad luck. We've just let the last room. We've been terribly busy, you see, it's Christmas." And then I say, "Oh, cripes, that's rather tiresome, as one is imminently about to give birth to the Saviour of the world." And then Binky takes pity on Mary and goes off to see what she can do. Whilst she's away, Mary does her first dance solo, a contemporary piece entitled No Vacancies. I rather think this went down particularly well last night. The audience were quite speechless. Moving the action on, Mary and Joseph have found a delightful bijou barn conversion. Mary's waters break, and at this point, we have Mary's second dance solo, a gentle, reflective piece entitled Giving Birth. And once again, I have to say, the audience was stunned by one's performance. Then, towards the end of Mary's dance solo, P.C. Smithers, Joseph, says, "I say, old thing, are you all right?" And Mary, me, says, "Yes, everything's fine. One's just giving birth to the light of the world. Be with you shortly." At which point, there's a brief interval for refreshments, whilst one gives birth to the Saviour of the world. Act 2. And bish bash bosh, it's all over. And mother and baby are doing frightfully well. At this point, Binky Farlington, the innkeeper's wife, enters with a welcome cup of Earl Grey tea for Mary and a rather large cigar for Joseph. Regrettably, P.C. Smithers lit his celebratory cigar last night and set off the church hall alarm and the sprinkler system, causing the temporary evacuation of the building. Very unfortunate, I'm sure you'll all agree. The performance soon resumed, following the inadvertent hiatus, with the arrival of guests for luncheon. Guests bearing gifts of gold, a wheel lock for a Land Rover Discovery 4x4, and a 12-month subscription to Horse and Hound magazine. Now, I rather think you were expecting frankincense and myrrh to be amongst the gifts, weren't you? Well, apparently, there was rather a shortage of these items, so suitable alternative gift arrangements had to be made. One does hope that these edited highlights of our nativity have helped to get you in the Christmas spirit. Talking of which, it's time to raise a glass to thank you for your kind social media support and to wish you all a happy Christmas. Cheerio! I I think that went rather well, don't you? Oh, I do love Christmas. What? Oh. Perkins, I think the saviour of the world needs changing. Could you sort it out? I'm rather busy.